First of all, many people have asked me, is martial law inevitable? Well, if we go by the Illuminati cards, there's absolutely no doubt about it. Plus, we go by the Illuminati cards and, of course, the Holy Scriptures. We find out that there is going to be severe martyrdom of Christians and Jewish people in this period of time. If we quickly turn chapter 20, verse 4, it says, "And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years." So you see, the Scriptures will tell you that these people will be beheaded. And I can tell you from personal experience, ladies and gentlemen, I had seen a lot of these things begin when I was in the Illuminati myself. I had seen portable guillotines that were already being made and practiced with ages ago. And we're going to be getting into more of these things right now as we go along. Because as we find out, quite a number of years ago, and I believe this was back in, what was that? That was in the 1995, as I recall. There was a questionnaire that was given out to the United States Marine Corps. It was actually titled 29 Palms Survey because it's become so infamous in what it was all about. 29 Palms Survey, and I blew up part of it so you could see it for yourselves. But I want you to jump online when you have the time. Just put down 29 Palms Survey. And you're going to see a list of 46 different questions. The 46th question, now there's a lot of different questions that will raise your eyebrows, but the 46th one is the one I'm going to focus in on right now. It says, and this is just a for instance, it says, the U.S. government declares a ban on the possession, sale, transportation, and transfer of all non-sporting firearms. A 30-day amnesty period is permitted for these firearms to be turned over to local authorities. At the end of the period, a number of citizen groups refuse to turn over their firearms. Consider the following statement. And you have to rate this according to strongly agree, strongly disagree. It's 5 slots you get to choose by. But the option here is, the question they're trying to find out is, I would fire upon U.S. citizens who refuse or resist confiscations of firearms banned by the U.S. government. Why would they ever ask such a heinous question? Why would American soldiers open up on American citizens like this? What are they up to? And if you go through the rest of the survey, you will find out, among other things, in question 40, I feel there is no conflict between my oath of office and serving as a UN soldier. Well, guess what? I have a lot to disagree with that because I took my oath of office to protect and defend the people and the Constitution of the United States of America, not the UN or their police state flunkies. Yes. Well, what had happened, the end result was that 61.6% of people who took this survey, they disagreed. They would not open up fire on U.S. citizens. 38.4% said they would. Bill Clinton then, and it was under Bill Clinton that these events had happened, he sent half of our standing United States soldiers overseas. He emptied out and decommissioned I don't know how many hundreds of forts throughout America. Then he reopened them up, gave them to a number of UN troops so that they could practice on, and then the vast majority of the others were actually turned into POW camps. Now let me show you these photos first. I want you to take a good look at these, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to shock you, but it is true. For you who have never seen these, you better just sit back and get ready, because this is the Genola POW camp in Utah. This is by the Utah Lake. And if you look very carefully, you can see the concentration fence going all around the end part of the perimeter here. The next one is the one in the DeSoto National Forest in Minnesota, and you can see the watchtower right there. This one was a little tricky to get, but the photo will verify the watchtower and parts of the fences going all the way around the perimeter. And this next one, it can't possibly become any plainer than this. It says enemy prisoner of war compound. This is a POW camp. This is at Fort Dix, New Jersey. Right there it says POW, prisoner of war. And here again, if we get close into that area, you'll see spaced out are the watchtowers with the perimeter fence and the wire, the razor edge, going around the entire perimeter of this POW camp. And here is one I remember that was in Nevada. This is the Nellis Air Force Base POW camp. Again, like all the others, there are the watchtowers, the high-rise wired fences, and everything. Now my question at this point, and if you don't believe this, as a matter of fact, let me show you something right now before I begin. This one, as I said, was Nevada. Right here, I have this page. I took this out from the Construction Notebook News. Now this is dated March 23rd, 1995, I believe it is. This, no, 1998, I remember. This is the bidder's contract, because there's so many things being built in the Las Vegas area that they have a construction notebook that will tell people what the project is, and they bid on these contracts. This one here completely says what this project is, and it was this one. Clark County Training Area, Enemy Prisoner War Camp. This was a POW camp that was to be built.
In 1999, American citizens were put in the Sandpoint Naval Brig outside of Seattle, Washington, and the news reported that FEMA was in control of the operation and was using the closed naval base as a mass prison. And the people were put in plastic handcuffs and taken indoors, inside warehouse areas that had barbed wire fences, porta potties, and cots. The same system we saw set up at Pier 57 a few years later in 2004 for the Republican National Convention in New York City.
Convention protest groups are not happy with what they call a clandestine detention center.
We discovered officers that had to spray tear gas to control one protester, and then at least 4 officers held down another protester.
The recent discovery of a makeshift jail in Denver's warehouse district is causing outrage among some.
It's a warehouse filled with makeshift jail cells to be used if there are mass arrests.
It was apparently constructed to hold DNC protesters.
Those cages are for the safety of law enforcement agents and those who are arrested, but Recreate 68 calls this place a concentration camp, unfit and inappropriate.
We don't need another gulag or stalag or prison, whatever you want to call it, to house people who just want to express an opinion of a better world. That's why we have the protests.
Military Occupational Specialty Internment Resettlement Specialist. This MOS plays an integral role in providing a uniform system of handling prisoners and detainees. Trained as internment resettlement specialists to control and supervise detainees to ensure their humane treatment. For this job, the Army will train you to use specialized equipment to monitor activity, to conduct searches, and to inspect areas where prisoners work and live. Here, you'll train to in-process prisoners and detainees and to brief them on their rights. After your initial entry training and advanced individual training, you'll work long hours, day or night, in a garrison or field environment, where you may practice emergency procedures, detect and confiscate contraband, and escort prisoners outside the facility. Military Occupational Specialty Internment Resettlement Specialist.
The burden of service has fallen almost exclusively onto the backs of our military. And that's why I won't just ask for your vote as a candidate. I will ask for your service and your active citizenship when I'm President of the United States.
Citizenship is not an entitlement program. It comes with responsibilities.
A young person joining our military must know that we will only send them into harm's way when we absolutely must. We need to ease the burden on our troops while meeting the challenges of the 21st century. People of all ages, stations, and skills will be asked to serve. Because when it comes to the challenges we face, the American people are not the problem, they are the answer. We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
Now my question is, 1998, there was no war going on, none. And these had been going up for years. This was the latest one back then. There's more that's still going on. But my question is, since there was no war going on, why were we building POW camps? That makes no sense at all. Unless you plan to start a war. That's the only answer that makes sense. Why build U.S. POW camps if you're not going to start a war? You only build these things if you're getting involved in a war. My question is, who are they going to get, who are they going to create this war against? And I'm going to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Christians like you and I and others who will stand up to the forces of the Illuminati, to the forces of the United States government, and to all those forces who are trying to take out Christianity and Christians. When we finally get up enough pluck and say, no, 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 no. During the tribulation period especially, martyrdom is going to come back on a level we have never seen in all of Christian history. The cost for daring to say no to the Antichrist and his governmental forces, his puppets in the Illuminati, and all others who follow him will be to lose their lives. Christians or those who dare oppose them will lose their lives and be sent into different prisoner of war camps throughout America, where they will literally become a slave workforce, and when their masters are done with them, they'll just kill them off, just like they were doing in the concentration camps of Nazi Germany during World War II. And this is a sad thing, but the evidence is here, ladies and gentlemen. You can go look at these yourself. They're not difficult to find. I've already told you the location. You've seen the photos. They're there, folks.